Shares of Eli Lilly trading near an all-time high, soaring more than 90% over the last year. Joining us now, Louise Chen, Cantor Fitzgerald analyst. Louise, great to have you with us.
Thank you. Good morning.
Certainly a huge rise in Lilly, in Novo, and the only criticism that one might have is that maybe people are getting too ahead of themselves in terms of pricing into the stock what future demand is. How do you address that as an analyst in terms of, all the future applications? They just released, the positive sleep apnea data. There's so many other indications for the drug which are still being studied that perhaps we're too far ahead of ourselves.
I don't think people are too far ahead of themselves that own Lilly. I actually think Lilly and Novo are very interesting stocks. We do have buy ratings on them. And I think these downstream applications can be really huge for the company and be blockbuster products as well. And the one thing for these products to remember is they might likely get better reimbursement than obesity.
Right, exactly. I mean, an insurer might be more likely to reimburse for sleep apnea or for cardiac events, right, as opposed to obesity, and same with Medicare. But in terms of the competition that's coming online, for future better GLP-1s, future better weight loss drugs in general. There's Structure, there's Zealand, there's so many other smaller players. How do you assess what the competition is out there?
Yeah, so I get asked that a lot. I think for these smaller companies, the thing that you have to keep in mind is we don't have phase 3 data for a lot of these products yet. And in order to get into phase 3 studies, they have to have the commercial scale in order to make that product. So I think that might be one stumbling block they have without a partner. And then secondly, it's not clear that the data are overwhelmingly better than what Lilly and Novo have shown. So I think that remains to be determined. There are a lot of obviously other mechanisms of action that are happening as well. But I feel that some of those are just trying to get into the market a little bit later in the game with something a little bit differentiated.
Novo just announced a $4 billion investment into new manufacturing. How do you sort of model out what they will need in manufacturing? Are they trying to meet the need that exists today with a manufacturing plant that will open up in a couple of years? And will their manufacturing needs change as they explore new formats for the drug?
Yeah, so I think Lilly and Novo are really ahead of the game on manufacturing, and they've been doing it for a few years now. It will probably take a few more years, in my view, in order to get up to scale to meet demand. That being said, I do think that they have very good manufacturing, and they're going to be very successful from that perspective. That's something that smaller players really have to contend with if they enter the market. Our estimate is that it takes tens of billions of dollars to build an incremental manufacturing network, and probably 5 years from the time you break ground to get up to capacity and scale.
Right. Louise, got to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us.